Day 21. It's meal number 1. Can you believe it's 21 days? Last night I had a great time with Savannah. We went to Black Eyed Sally's. You got to see a little bit of what the meal was. I don't know if you could hear that so well, but we ordered one meal, and the meal was a brisket. And the brisket was served on top of a bread. It had rice and beans with it. It had coleslaw. They brought out also broccoli. They brought out cornbread. They brought us some pickles and okra. Those were fried in a little bit of a cornmeal. So it's with something like the fried okra and the pickles. And right away in my mind, I know that the cornmeal, that some of that is going to be okay. The frying does add a fair amount of fat to the equation that I'm not accustomed to eating, but I did, increase my fat intake yesterday a little bit. I do know that I like the flavor of those pickles, so there's a little bit of craving in that. So, right away, it's basically, I'm just splitting that in half and then in quartering it, and I'm eating a quarter of something like that. Just a little sampling, not even a quarter of what the serving was. On the cornbread, I just took a little pinch of it because I just wanted to see what it tasted like. And it was interesting because it was like too sweet for me. And so I didn't really have any of it. Savannah had a little bit of it. We got to be willing to cut some slack for the people around us. Not everybody's going to want to eat like we eat. Even people close to us will benefit immensely from reducing portion size, from shifting intention around food, would benefit immensely from looking at how we combine protein, carbohydrate, and fat. People around us would benefit immensely from lowering the amount of sugar that they're eating and making decisions that are on the side of good glycemic index, meaning the lower the better. Definitely below 50, but even the lower the better than that. So, like, broccoli's an amazing choice. And we did have broccoli, and it was really good. It was like amazingly good last night. First thing that I did is I took 2 pieces of the brisket, the size of the palm of my hand, and put it on a tiny plate. And then I took some broccoli and put it on that plate. And that kind of filled my plate up. I took about a tablespoon of the beans. I left the rice behind because I don't really combine beans and rice very often. I have to turn myself into the Gracie family in Rio because they don't combine beans and rice, right? Too complex of the carbohydrates. So I had just, the real reason I didn't eat the rice was I just wanted a little bit of the nutrients from the beans. A couple days ago, I had some of that wild rice in a soup. It was a wild rice mix in a soup. So I felt like I was in a good place with nutrients coming from rices. And I don't think the rice that those guys were using was wild organic rice. So anyways, I said, now the amount of brisket that I took wasn't even anywhere close to half of what the brisket was. So it's interesting. You think about, like, when we go to a place, we go to a restaurant, we sit down, you look at a meal and you order. We think that we have to order everybody a meal and everybody a appetizer, right? And the truth is when you sit down and really look at it, the meal last night, even if I split it in half, I'm still going to bring home the amount of food they gave us, half of my half, right? There was like literally 4 meals. So imagine we could go out to dinner with another couple and sit at the table, and what are we going to have? We're going to order one meal and share it amongst 4 people. If we have 4 people on this eating process that we've been talking about here, we could literally share that one meal amongst everyone. That one $12 meal we can split amongst 4 people, and that would be exactly the right amount of food. In fact, maybe a little bit more on the carbohydrate than what we really need, even breaking it down and splitting it up like that. So we don't have to each order something from a menu just because it's there. Some of these ideas we can share. Sharing's really good. Let's share more. Let's think about how we can share, all right? So that's maybe a theme for the day today. All right, well, I can't believe it's day 21. I'm feeling really good. I have a lot of energy though. At night, I'm kind of waking up with a lot of energy. I have to do a little walking meditation, a little bit of breathing. Sometimes I'll do a little bit of yoga. So this is an interesting development. I'm going to probably talk with my doc about that here coming up. Maybe a nutritionist, and I'm going to talk with my friend John Powers, who is like, he's the guy in yoga, can do like the headstands all the time and stuff. He's away on the Cape right now. I sent him a note, but he's traveling. But when he gets back, then I'll sit down with John. Maybe we'll get to see that conversation, because I have so much energy. I just want to talk with people that know a thing or two about stuff, right? Well, here's an interesting thing. Yesterday, I pulled this out of the refrigerator here. This is half of meal number one yesterday. It was a 1/4 cup of oatmeal with a 1/4 cup of milk in it with some cinnamon, and that was it. And so, I talked about what I'm eating. I had my whole lineup of cereals. It's still sitting on my table out here. I had my cup of cashew milk this morning. This is the pea milk. Pea milk has, for a cup, this is maybe a little bit less than a cup, 70 calories, 8 grams of protein, 0 carbohydrates, 5 grams of fat. So this will form a really good foundation for my breakfast. I'm going to finish up the oatmeal from yesterday. So that'll be my breakfast, and that's just a 1/4 cup. So a 1/4 cup is, let me flip this around here. Here we go, 1/4 cup. There it is. It's still sitting there. We know that for this is roughly 73 calories, 2 grams of fat, 12 carbs. There's no added sugar, 3 grams of protein for this. And it's a much better, it's twice as better than, say, Cheerios, which is 130 calories for a cup, 3 grams of fat, 26 carbs, 2 added sugar, and 4 grams of protein. So I'm going to go this direction, okay? And that's what I'm going to have. For my second meal today, I'm likely going to have, remember we talked yesterday a little bit about the tuna sandwich I made out of some slices of cheese. Well, I'm not even hungry right now, but I'm kind of mapping out my day. I have a couple options here. I've got soup still left, and I might have a cup of soup. We can eat as much as that as we want. Super nourishing and hydrating. But I still have that little cheese and tuna sandwich. So if I'm feeling like I need a little bit of extra oomph, then I'll have that half of that cheese and tuna with Bibb lettuce sandwich. But I'll see. If I can delay that fat intake on that because I'm feeling good, I'll wait till later in the afternoon. Or maybe that will save for a day or two. So I don't have to eat it right away, but I have it. It's there. It's available. And, today I'm going to look at having a little bit of avocado. I don't think I had any avocado yesterday. So I want to, so where I was yesterday in terms of exploring a little bit of increase in fat, I want to come back into a place of increasing my avocado and increasing the really good nuts like macadamia, and to play with that to see, how does that help me? Like, having that bacon, will that trigger a desire to eat a couple pounds of bacon? It's not right now, I probably shouldn't joke about that though, Will the cheese trigger me to want to eat much more cheese? I'm in good shape right now. I'm feeling really good. So the answer is no. I have a cheese snack on the menu. I'm not going to deny myself. There isn't anything about this where we're saying we must only, it's more gently, a gentle, soothing approach is what we would best take here to help our bodies do what our bodies know how to do, which is always find balance and harmony inside of ourselves and with the whole universe around us in terms of plants. And think of this exchange we're in with all plant life, where we're breathing out carbon dioxide, plant life is taking that in, and plants breathe out oxygen, and we are breathing that. And you just think of this cycle that we're in. It's an amazing thing, right? So our bodies and minds know how to find balance and know how to find harmony. That's where we are. That's just where we are. Okay. So have a super great day, day 21, meal number 1. See you in a few hours.